Welcome back to the Earthathon. We are here and excited about our Birthing to Freedom Day. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Kimberly Sales Allers. I am the founder of Irth, which is like the word birth, but we dropped the B for bias. In case you haven't heard while we're on live stream all day, Irth is a new app designed to address racism and bias in care. It's a Yelp-like digital platform for Black and Brown women and birthing people to find and leave reviews of their OBGYNs, birthing hospitals, and pediatricians, right? So we capture the prenatal, the birthing, and pediatrics up to baby's first year, all so that on the front end, we create a space for you as a Black and Brown person to see what your community thinks about a provider, to find those who are treating us well, and to share where we are not being treated respectfully. On the back end, we turn those qualitative reviews into data for change, data that works because we're using our collective power. So no longer can they dismiss a story. They dismiss my story. They may have dismissed your story. But if we put all our stories in the same place, we have a powerful tool for change. So we're here today to capture more reviews. This is a review raiser for Irth. This is also a fundraiser if you want to donate to support our work. We are a nonprofit. We are grant funded to do this work, and very grateful to our funders, the California Healthcare Foundation, Tara Health Foundation, and the Grove Foundation. But we need your support too. So today I've asked my community, my people, those who are birthing advocates, those who care about this matter, to show up and be in support for you, to call in and leave your experiences with us. So if you call in right now to 1-855-480-1IRTH, we are here to take your calls. I'm super excited. And first, I'm happy to bring in certainly one of my sisters in the fight, one of my comrades, one of my co-creators for Black Breastfeeding Week, which is happening this year, August 25th to 31st. I would love to introduce to you Kiddada Green. Hey, Kiddada.
Hi, good afternoon or good morning to people, depending on where they are, right?
I love your t-shirt. Thank you for representing.
Of course. Glad to be here.
Kiddada is always on point and on brand. I love that. So before Kiddada and I start, I just want to remind you again, please call in 855-450-4784, 855-450-IRTH. We are here. Kiddada is at extension 705. So when you call that number, type in 705, and Kiddada will be excited to take your call and take your review and talk to you and capture it for the Irth app. So let's use those phones, people. So Kiddada, not only are you the founding executive director of the Black Mothers Breastfeeding Association, which is based in Detroit, you are a co-founder of Black Breastfeeding Week, which we are super excited about, and you are really the founder of the Black Breastfeeding Caucus. So tell us a little bit about BMFA and the Black Breastfeeding Caucus, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, Kimberly, thank you for being here. It's an easy yes when you ask me to do something, because I know where your heart is. I know what your passion is, and I know your level of excellence. So I'm always happy to be a part of what you build and your innovation. This Earthathon is a huge innovation. Irth itself is a huge innovation, and I understand why you're doing it. Right. I know that you care about Black mamas, and I know that you care about Black babies and Black birthing people. And for me, this is an extension of what I do all day, every day. Black Mothers Breastfeeding Association is a nonprofit, 501c3 nonprofit based here in Detroit. Our mission is to reduce racial inequities in breastfeeding support for Black families. And we do that by training and education, through advocacy, and through direct service. It's very humbling work. I can also say it's very rewarding work that I started in 2007. We have grown so much. We have many programs. I think particularly for this audience, I would like to uplift our upcoming conference. This is the 2021 Virtual Experience Birth and Breastfeeding Conference, and we really take our time to make sure that it's an experience, right? We want you to be able to network and enjoy and move the leaderboard and learn from our presenters, but also from one another because we all have so much to share. Right now, we have we're open for a call for presenters. So I invite you all to our website and learn more about the call for presenters.
I'm definitely submitting.
Yes. Our goal for our conference is to advance equitable policies and practices that center community voice to achieve positive birth and breastfeeding outcomes for Black families. We have 5 tracks: innovation and technology, communications, leadership, peer and clinical breastfeeding support, and breastfeeding groups. You can find out more about the conference and the call for presenters and opportunities for sponsorship at bmbfa.org/conference or blackmothersbreastfeeding.org/conference.
Cool. The conference is always great. Remember the Detroit year? Well, it's always in Detroit, but when you had the Motown theme, back when we were in person and we had all those amazing tours around Detroit, that was so amazing. Kiddada also always puts on an event with a lot of excellence. So I always love to show up, whether it's virtual, in person. So I'm so excited about that. And let's talk about the Black Breastfeeding theme announcement. So the theme for Black Breastfeeding Week was announced. What was it, last week, everyone? Please go to the Black Breastfeeding Week Facebook page. Also, you can follow us on Instagram, on Twitter at, come on, Kiddada, help me.
BLK. You put me on the spot. I'm going to get that for you. And as soon as I look at my phone, where is Anaya? We need her.
BFING Week. BLKBFING Week. Right.
There you have it. Thank you, Kimberly.
On Instagram and Twitter. So we are excited. And so let's just, share right here before we open up the phone lines again. What is the theme for this year's Black Breastfeeding Week?
The theme this year is the big pause. Collective rest for collective power.
Yes, I love that. And I think, when we were coming up with this theme, it was really important for us to think about what our community has been through, right? And that, sometimes there's always a rush to grind, and go. But what happens if we take a moment, right, to honor ourselves, to honor the fact that our ancestors could never rest? And how do we take rest as an opportunity to build power, build our collective power for our communities, to reflect and envision around what we want for the Black breastfeeding landscape? And so this idea of taking a pause so that we move forward stronger, faster, better is really exciting. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the communities create for celebration this year. How about you?
You know what? I feel like I have so much to learn about pausing, about resting, because it's not my norm, right? My norm is to just continue to push through, regardless of the barriers, regardless of the stress. And no matter how many things that are going on in my life, I just have to keep moving. And so I'm looking forward to learning from others what that pause looks like, right? Because how can I restore? How can I recharge and reset? And so on our Facebook page, Black Breastfeeding Week Facebook page, and on our Instagram post, people have been offering ideas of things that they're going to do in their community to kind of rejuvenate. So I'm excited about it. I feel like I have so much to learn from so many people. I can't wait to talk to the Benfa Mommy ambassadors to see what that means to them and how we're going to move forward here in Detroit. So I invite you all to take part of it. Our hashtag is BBW21 or hashtag Black Breastfeeding Week. You can also hashtag the big pause and join us in the conversation. Really start thinking about what this means in your life. I think our approach, we really want to do it collectively as a community. really building on the spirit of Black culture, which is collective, right? So really thinking about it as a group and how this can help us to improve our breastfeeding outcomes.
Okay, well, I'm excited about it. I can't wait. It's always a great week every year, August 25th to 31st. I'm also excited because we have another guest joining us right now. Bruce McIntyre is here. He is the founder of the Save a Rose Foundation, but also someone who's personally affected by this issue. He lost his beloved Amber Rose Isaac, who was involved in a maternal death. And ever since then, Bruce has been on a mission to really advocate and make sure that nobody else has this experience ever again. Bruce, thank you for joining me and us.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. Every time I see you and all these other reproductive justice activists do something, I'm on it. I'm there. I'm all about supporting and networking and making sure that we're getting this message across. So
Yeah,
thank you for having me.
thank you. How's baby Elias doing?
Oh, he's doing amazing. He's teething right now, so he's a little fussy, but he's about to start walking. He's ready. He's moving fast. It's just amazing being able to watch his personality sprout. His personality just shines through, but he is truly a gift.
Yes, well, I know that he is, and I know that this issue is really important to you. You're incredibly passionate about it.
Yes.
Just want to remind everyone, I would love Bruce to share a little bit about his work. We're just going to put up our call-in number, 855-450-4784. Kiddada and Bruce are here to take calls and to hear from you. Kiddada is at extension 705, and is that a 90? And Bruce is at extension 707. So when you call that number, type in either of those extensions. We are happy to interrupt our conversation for your call. Bruce, tell us a little bit about the Save a Rose Foundation.
So yeah, I started the Save a Rose Foundation immediately after Amber passed away. It kind of just came to me. Um, I actually started advocating the same day that she passed away. Um,
Wow.
the very same day we got home at like 5 in the morning, and by like 10 a.m. I was advocating. Um, she was just someone who had great importance in my life. She was definitely a life changer. She changed my life completely. She helped me with so much, and I just hate to see that all of her all of her hard work didn't come to fruition because she earned her bachelor's in psychology for art therapy in 2018. She was an early life educator, and while she was educating and while she was pregnant, she was also earning her master's degree for business development. She wanted to start her own school program because she didn't like the way that the school was teaching. And she wanted to open up, start extracurriculum activities and things for the children to advance. Also providing, job security and childcare and
Okay.
things like such. So,
And Bruce, hold on for 1 second. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Kiddada, do we have an Earth call?
Yes, I have an Earth call actually.
Okay.
I'm trying to multitask, so I don't. Should I stay off mute
Yeah,
or
well,
should I go on mute?
we'd love to hear you say hello and introduce yourself, and then we can go on mute and take care of the most important questions.
Okay, wonderful. To whom am I speaking? Hello. I'm clicking the link. Bear with me.
All right. So
I want to.
it's a structured process,
All
people. So
right,
Kiddada's
thank you. So before we start, I need to briefly explain what will happen and get your consent. So I'm going to ask some questions about you and your birthing experience. Some of these questions are personal. You do not have to answer any question you feel uncomfortable answering. I'm going to write down the answers to your question, which will be downloaded into the Earth app database within 3 to 5 business days and become part of Earth's reviews. We won't publicly link your name with your answers to any questions. The Earthathon is live streamed. That means some parts of your conversation may be recorded and a video of your conversation will be broadcast on the internet for anyone to see live. If you would like to learn more about Earth, including what Earth does to protect privacy, please visit earthapp.com/privacy hyphen policy. Do I have your consent to ask you questions about yourself and your birthing experience? To use your answers in the Earth and in the live stream conversation.
All right, cool. It sounds like Kiddada's on her way. All right, if we have anybody else, please give us a call.
Okay, we got the legal stuff out the way. Let's get started. What is
All right, great. Okay, Bruce. So we were learning about all the great things that Amber was up to with her life, her degrees, her interest. And really what I loved about when you tell your story is just the both of your joy about becoming parents together. That's, the love that you had for each other was definitely, which is always so clear.
Yeah, definitely, and it's just so rare to come across such a pure love like that, and which is a reason why I'm fighting so hard, And I watched her work so hard for everything that she was going for, and I'm just, it saddens me that she didn't get to see all of that come to fruition. But as her partner and as her life partner, as her soulmate, I want to continue that for her. And right before she passed away, she wanted to write a tell-all about the incompetence and the negligence that she had been dealing with from the hospital, from two Montefiore facilities that we both went to. Um, and I want to be able to finish that tell-all for her and then some. I want to be able to make things in her legacy. So I founded the Save a Rose Foundation to do so, to combat and dismantle against the systemic flaws within the medical system, as well as try to redirect the course of birthing equity. We're also working on bringing the first ever midwifery-led birthing center to the Bronx as well. We're just, lobbying for politicians to pass legislation, and that's pretty much it. All we're waiting for. And during that process, I also had noticed some faulties by the hospital. They were trying to, instead of giving us the proper care and the help that we deserved, they were trying to, um, have us in therapy, and without even getting properly evaluated, they were already throwing drugs in our face, such as Xanax and other powerful antidepressants. And, I'm thinking to myself, this is how they're getting us. This is such a perpetuated cycle that we see in our communities. I'm thinking, how am I supposed to? I'm a new father. My son is a newborn. How am I supposed to take care of my newborn child if I'm doped up on drugs and left incompetent? And this is such a vicious cycle that we see in these communities. So I actually have partnered with some of the developers over at blkbfingweek.com, and what is it? There's another matchmaking site, but I partnered with these developers to create a mental health app, so we can help people with their mental health, who are struggling with depression and anxiety, things like that. And what this app is developed to do is it's developed to match you up and pair you up with people who are going through similar situations in your life, whether they're coaches, whether they're people who have turned pain into power, whether they are people who come from underprivileged communities who have gone on to continue advanced degrees. So we pair those people up, and we have them coach them through certain situations. So I'm constantly coming up with innovative ways to help people and help the community. And even stepping into this work, it was a little different for me, because stepping into the, maternal health as a man, is a bit challenging, and it's a bit scary at times, because, you're scared that you don't want to say the wrong things, or, or you're not properly educated. But I took it upon myself to properly educate myself. And I'm sharing accurate statistics, and I'm actually educating people. I've spoken to every news media outlet there is out there. I actually just came back from Harvard as well. I helped Dr. Neil Shaw with a few classes out there in Boston, on maternal health, and I've been speaking and educating our future providers, and what they should be looking out for, and how they should be treating people, because
It's, yeah, particularly fathers. We were just talking about this with Charles. I mean, I really want to hear about, you as a male in your experience, not just as the father when you were going through the prenatal part, but people can often have lots of concern and compassion for a mother who died, for a baby who's motherless. But what's been your experience around the way that the system treats particularly Black and brown fathers in this process for you?
It's absolutely disgusting because there's no help for us. It's kind of like we get disregarded. Um, there were processes that I shouldn't be going through. I've had to fight to be on my son's birth certificate. Things like that, stuff that the hospital was supposed to help out with, and
Wow.
and they didn't help out with, and because of that lack, I don't get Social Security for my son. I don't get help for my son, so now I'm down to one income, taking care of everything, when there used to be two incomes, and that's challenging. And then as a father, people, yeah, you feel very disregarded sometimes, because
Yeah.
you're a man, and people will just expect you to just handle everything. And um, it's challenging,
I can imagine, Bruce. I can only imagine. This is why, I mean, even for Earth, we always accept reviews from fathers. We accept the reviews from birthing partners, whether that person is a male or your grandmother, whoever's there. We need to capture this 360 experience because we know that the disrespect and the disregard is all encompassing. It's not just directed toward one person, right? It's a disrespect of all of us. And we really have to begin to show that. I want to just remind people to please call in 855-450-4784, 855-450-IRTH. Put in 707 to catch Bruce, and he will take your review. Kiddada's in the middle of one. And I think we have Jade Harris who's joining us from Atlanta, Georgia, or the Atlanta, Georgia area. This is the widespreading. There you go. And she's got.
Hi, how are you?
I need one of these shirts.
It's in the mail. It's in the mail, Bruce. We got you. We got you. That's my bad. That's on me. That's on me.
It's all good. It's all good.
I gotta get you your Earth stuff. But Jade, tell us about Jade. Jade is a mother of 4 herself and has been so supportive of Earth, working with us and for us at times, and just really being passionate about sharing her experience to help amplify the work that we're doing. Thank you for joining us, Jade.
Thank you, Kim. I'm glad to be here. I'm excited.
Well, please call in, everyone, 855-450-4784, 855-450-4784. Bruce is on 707. Kiddada is on 705, I think, and Jade is on backup for calls. So please, let's get this phone line popping. We need our collective power. Bruce, we were just talking about your experience as a father. I'm curious, just what do you think is the strength we have in numbers? Like what could that look like for us in your opinion?
I truly believe in strength in numbers, and the power behind our stories. There's a lot of pain behind a lot of power behind our pain. And I feel like that needs to be shared, especially for males, for men. Because I took it upon myself to be very, very active and very a part of Amber's pregnancy. I was actually the one who found our midwife. So I was very, very much involved, and I strongly encourage men to get involved. And but yeah, we need more people to share their stories. I know a lot of people are scared. I've had to speak to fathers who were on edge after losing their partners, who were literally ready to jump off a roof. And that what that did to me is it made me become so selfless, and it also gave me the power to help these people. And that's how I feel better about myself. That's how I also cope, is by knowing that I'm helping someone through a similar situation. But yeah, there's a lot of there's strength in numbers. And all of us coming together as a coalition is just a beautiful thing. And we're all spreading the same message. So there's a lot of power behind this.
Yeah, so much power. Thank you for saying that, Bruce. Jade, I know that you've have used the app. Thank you so much. Tell me, as a mom, and you have, how old is your youngest?
Actually, Layla will be one on the 28th.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
So tell us your thoughts about the Earth app as a mom of four, as a person who's been through this system a few times. Why is the app important to you? And tell us what you like. I'm going to put up the number one more time, 855-450-4784. Please call in, share your experiences. We want them to have power when we put them together. And Jade, I'd love for you to share how you've used the Earth app and what it's meant to you.
Well, I've used the Irth app not only for my birth, but I also used it after, going to the doctor for, visits and things like that. And it's really important to have a track record of what happens. Each time I take Layla to her well child visits, I'm always making sure that I go back in and, update information, because sometimes her primary care might not be available. So I'm seeing a nurse depending on what's happening. And I feel like all of that needs to be included. We need to know who we're dealing with, if they're good people for us, if they're going to make sure that they're handling business according to what we need. It's really important.
Yeah, thank you so much. And we want to remind people, yes, come leave all your prenatal reviews for each appointment, right? We need to be held accountable. And also many times, as Jade is saying, you may not even see the same exact doctor at every visit. So come back and let's start building that accountability and that track record. Come back when you've given birth. Tell us what happened at the birthing hospital. Come back for your postpartum visit and then return for your infant's pediatric visits. We know that unfortunately what's happening with Black mothers is also happening with our infants. And we need to be capturing our experiences across the spectrum so we can hold all parts of the system accountable for our care. And we're real excited and grateful for the mamas like Jade. I want everyone to know we now have reviews in 48 states plus Hawaii. So if you come into Earth, leave a review, leave multiple reviews, or you can come in to search. But we really need folks. We are here as a review raiser because when we have more reviews in the app, we are more powerful, right? We have more power when we can do that. And so just want to encourage everybody, let you know that, we already are collecting reviews. It's been exciting for us to see the growth of the app, see people using it, see people comment on Instagram and Facebook about how they're using it, how they're grateful. And so, yeah. And, one of the things that's really interesting as well, Bruce, is we do get a number of messages, which almost, for lack of a better word, sound desperate, right? Someone may have had a challenge setting up their account and they're like, I'm trying to get in, I'm giving birth in a few weeks. I need to search for my zip code. And there is this, amplified fear that deeply concerns me. I mean, do you see it? What's going on? And I mean, and for me, fear has been used as a tool to control us from time, right? In fact, that's how they got Black people here. And so this idea of people being fearful, you're hearing stories of people thinking about, do I need to complete my wills and death documents before I give birth? I mean, this can't continue.
No, it can't. It really can't. But I hear almost every day. I'm speaking to people every day about this. So I definitely see it all the time. And there's a lot of people who are worried about, things that they should do and people who feel like they may not make it. And that's such a scary thing. And that's not what you would want to hear right before you're about to go into delivery. But what I do love about this app and what this app does for people like me, and all of us who are going through this, is it combats against medical malpractice insurance that's granting these doctors immunity, and they're not taking accountability. So this is going to be their accountability. This is going to leave them accountable.
That's it.
So
and we were just talking before, like how we've seen the power of consumers on a regular Yelp platform, shut down restaurants, amplify business. People can soar or they could sink, right? Based on consumer feedback. And that is the power that I need us to leverage in our community. We can amplify good providers. We will help those who are treating us well soar. But if you are not, then you need to be on the other side of that. And so we need to really use our consumer power to say that we are a powerful block of people, right? And you may dismiss my story, and you may dismiss what happened to Amber, what happened to Kira, what happened to Armand's wife, and what happened to Aaron's wife. But all of us together are so powerful. And this is really my vision for Earth, that we can put all of our experiences together, and that's where we have power. So I just want to remind you that when we do that, we work very hard on the back end. It is not just sharing to feel good. We turn that into data. We're right now working with a hospital in Detroit where we had a good number of reviews. We identified negative patterns in their reviews. We went to them and showed them what we were learning, and we invited them into an opportunity to improve, right? And so this is the real work, right? The front end is our mechanism, but the back end is where we push for systemic change. And so I really invite people to call in right now, 855-450-4784. Please share your reviews. Know that every story has power. And I promise you, I will put it with others and we will go fight for change, right? That's my promise to you today. So this is not just about storytelling, although that's important. This is about, we have power, and our stories have power when we put them together and we use it to data, because they love that data so much, don't they, Bruce? Jade, you work in public health. They just love the data, don't they? And I'm like, okay, got you. No problem. No problem. We're coming with the data. We're coming with the Earth app, and we'll see what you say then, right? And so this is how we really push the system, and we show them that we actually have more data, and that we are going to, now we're going to use it for accountability, for transparency, and for tracking. I don't know about you, Bruce, but even here in our city, Bruce and I both live in New York City, where the Black maternal mortality rate is 12 times that of white women, right? 12 times in a place like New York City, one of my favorite places. I also want to share that we are in a project with Mother, the agency called Mother, to create the Black Mother's Green Book for New York State, where we are going to be publishing a book that is inspired by the Green Book as a guide for safe travel through pregnancy and childbirth. So if you're listening, you haven't heard about the Black Mother's Green Book, we'll be showing a video about that later on today, but definitely check that out. And you can if you live in New York City or New York State, we definitely need your reviews, because we'll be using those in a special project to produce a book for New Yorkers about where we are seeing safe experiences, positive experiences in our city and state. And so we're just trying to make these tools available to people, right? We got to be out there talking the talk, walking the walk, and really helping people come through on that. What else? Jade, tell us what it feels like to kind of be mothering it in the digital era.
Well, it's been pretty good, even better with the app. Let me tell you, I had just moved down to Georgia like last year, right before I had Layla. I was like 6 months pregnant, and I was having the hardest time finding a facility to give birth at. It's completely different from being at home, because you always have people that can tell you, where to go, where to guide you, and give you extra help. I wish that I would have had this right before I gave birth to Layla, because when I tell you that the struggle was real.
Yeah.
Like looking for a place to give birth at. I had places not even wanting to let me come in for appointments because we were dealing with COVID. I'm like, I'm 6 months pregnant. I'm from a different state. I've had care. I could just transfer my information so I can, get everything started. I've had hospitals not even call me back. So I had to just go with whoever got in contact with me first. And, it was kind of nerve-wracking at the same time, because it's like, yeah, I'm glad I'm going to a facility, but I don't know what's in store for me. So I wish that the app was there off rip for me, then I would have been able to get feedback from different people who,
Exactly.
are similar to me.
Do you hear that? Jade needs y'all to give her reviews for her community, right? Jade needs you, so please call in 855-450-4784. We need those reviews in, and we'd love to learn more about how we can be of service to the community, what we're doing. I'm excited to see that we're expanding this conversation. Bruce was talking about an app that he's working on to really address some of the mental health issues that we know kind of come with this space, and the ways that we don't have the community of support, which is also about, Bruce, kind of destigmatizing mental health in our community, don't you think?
It sure does. And from the statistics that we've been going over, mental health in the lower income communities are supposed to rise up to 80% by 2030. That's
Wow.
That's the way the trajectory is going. So we need to take mental health very serious. We did a study with senior citizens who were facing these same feelings and these same problems, and we were able to decrease the trajectory by 30% in a span of 3 weeks just by talking. And it's a little more personal than speaking to a therapist or a counselor. So that we need to see more of that. And Jay, just as you were sharing as well, it's very scary not being able, especially in this era where everything is telephonic and everything is over the net. Um, we were actually in the same situation where we couldn't even have a midwife on standby when we went to the hospital, and we didn't even know we were giving birth. We were told we were coming in for treatment. And 2 days later, they found out that she had HOPE syndrome after trying to only test her for COVID. Um, and she passed away that same day. They induced her labor because of how low her platelets were. And we were actually the reason why New York State allowed midwives to come back to be by their patients and their client sides. So that's definitely a very scary thing that we do need to highlight, because we need to highlight these faulties. We need to highlight what they're doing. They were even trying to kick me out of the hospital, for advocating for my wife.
Yeah. And the thing is, Bruce, we know that has been a thing, right? I've seen hospitals where they're worried about safety, and that means Black men are not allowed to stay overnight if they even become a father. I mean, it really is unacceptable. And we know that whenever there's even a valid restriction, it falls disproportionately harder on Black and brown folks, right? It becomes a reason to amplify and to excuse the things that they were doing before that weren't right. And so we know that's really important. Hi, Aaron, you joined us. Thank you so much. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. This is so amazing. I want to introduce Aaron to the audience.
How y'all doing?
I'm sure you know, Aaron lost his wife, Janiyah, in December of 2020. And so unfortunately, as Charles was saying earlier, the number of brothers who are in this group are growing, and we needed to stop. We're so grateful for you to join us. Aaron, tell us what it's been like for you as a father. You're gonna unmute.
It's been real challenging. I'm a father of 4. One of my children is 6 months, and I'm all by myself in South Jersey. My family is all the way in North Jersey, about an hour and 40 minutes away from me. So it been real hard, but I'm maintaining. I just finished closing on the house that me and my wife, wanted us to do. We was doing this year. I did that yesterday. Got the keys yesterday. It's been real tough. I've been with my wife for 21 years, since high school. We've been to prom, everything together. We was together since a kid. To our whole adult life, and just to lose my wife like that is just crazy. And I emailed you before. I said I wish that this app was out at the time of of us. Oh man, I wish this app was out at the time. She was pregnant, to help us. Unfortunately, it wasn't, and it's just a sad situation. And I didn't even know that this was a thing. I didn't even know that our Black queens was passing away like this until it happened to me. And it's just sad, real sad.
It is really sad.
Yeah.
I'll let Bruce respond to you first.
Yeah, Aaron, first and foremost, I'm sorry for your loss. I know that pain is unbearable. Um, I know that pain way too well. I know it's something that's constantly on your mind, and I know you're constantly thinking what you could have done different. But there's nothing you could have done different because you did everything that you could. It's the system that failed us, and that's why we're here. And that's why you're aligned to work with us to combat against this, so this doesn't have to happen to anybody else, so nobody else has to go through that pain, because that's something hard to sit with. Especially with the kids being involved as well. That's very hard, and you having to raise your children, and um, I know how hard that is. But as a man, I truly appreciate you for calling in, and for stepping up and for being a part of this, because it's needed, it's necessary. We need to hear from more Black fathers, and we also need to change the stigma of Black fathers. We need to show that we're here as a community, that we're here for each other, and that strong Black men can be here for one another. And there's nothing wrong with that. We've been living in this system for so long, and we've been conditioned for these certain things for so long, and we got this stigma placed on us. We got to change that, and I'm glad that you're here to help us. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Aaron. It's really, really difficult. It's like the worst situation that everyone ever thought they would be in. But I'm so grateful to you for, standing in your truth, sharing your story, because, that's what we have to do to push for change, right? Like, we can't go quiet when this
Oh
is
my
happening
God.
to so many of us. We can't, we can't be, so we have to shout. And if we're shouting out on Instagram, or we're shouting on digital platforms, if we're shouting in conferences, if we're shouting at congressional hearings, like, we need to be doing all the things. And one of the things that I'm just so honored to be in this space right now, it's giving me goosebumps, guys, and to around you two Black men, is this idea that, Black men have not been necessarily socialized to express hurt, pain, vulnerability. And so I appreciate you both for not just sharing your story, but being willing to say, I'm hurt. Like, that was my love, and I miss her. And this shit ain't right, and this hurts. And so just want to lift you up and honor your humanity, in sharing your real experience. How's the children? How are the children doing, Aaron?
I think he froze. He might have to turn the Wi-Fi off.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
did you say?
I asked, how are the children doing?
Oh, the children are doing well. They doing better than me. They ecstatic about the house. They love the house. I'm trying to just get their mind off of things. Um, it's the summer, so they just watching me basically. They watch my social media, and I just try to keep their minds off of it. I let them go see their family, let them stay around their cousins, they grandmothers. It take a village. I need the whole village, because a single parent with 4 kids is very hard in this day and age.
Yeah, it is. It is really, really hard. I just want to make sure people are aware of the GoFundMe that's still out there for Janiyah. Also, Aaron's Cash App is #FitnessGeek, GEEK. Let's make sure that we support our brother and these young babies who had their mother taken from them, because the system is failing us, right? And so let's continue to support people individually, organizations collectively. And I just wanted to mention Aaron's Cash App as Fitness Geek, and then there is a link for the GoFundMe for him and his children. It's really, really important that we continue to lift that up.
Heavy.
Take a breath. It's heavy. It's
Heavy.
Yeah,
really heavy.
Hey, Aaron, and congratulations on that milestone with the house too. That's because
thank
that's a
you,
milestone. And
thank you. I had to do it. That was she. Even when I turn, it's crazy. Even when I turn her cell phone on, it just pops up on her notifications about houses from Zillow and all that. So I just had to do it. I just had to do it.
that's
It
right.
was a dream.
and you did it for her, you did it for your children, and you did it for yourself, and you deserve it. And that's something that you also have to continue doing. Even though she's not here in the physical, she's still here with us in the spiritual, and you're still going to be able to continue to do for her. So I like a lot of times I still think about I still feel like I'm co-parenting. Like I think about the stuff Amber would tell me to do and things that she would tell me not to do. And if I feel like I'm not on the right path, I can just hear her mouth in my ear. And that's something that's gonna stick with you. But I hear you saying that you're doing all this for the children, and you're trying to keep their minds off of it, but you also have to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Self-care is very important, during these trials and tribulations. So, but if you have all the support around you, we are the community, and we support you, and we love you, and we're here for you anytime you need us.
I love y'all too.
Yes, so true, so true. And we've been talking about this issue of Black maternal mortality, and Aaron, how it's really rooted in racism and bias in our care, right? Like we don't see white women getting treated the same way across the board, right? In my city, I live in New York, you're in Jersey. The Black maternal mortality rate in New York City is 12 times, right? In different cities, it's different numbers. But the fact of the matter is, they are achieving a standard of care for somebody, but they're not achieving it for us, right? And that's exactly what a disparity means, that there's a gap. And so it's not that they can't do it, they're just not doing it for us, right? And so we have to really think this through. I think, Bruce, are you getting a call? This is great. Please, everyone, please call in 855-450-4784. 855-450-IRTH. We need you. Put your experiences in the app. This is how we have power. This is the way we use our collective power. I think Bruce has a call. You want to unmute and say hello? Were you able to get it? Okay, I think Bruce is handling it. Well, yes.
You know what, Kimberly? I had a call.
Okay.
And first I want to offer my condolences to both Aaron and Bruce.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can't even imagine how you all feel, or how you're maintaining and continuing on. But my blessings, my condolences, and just real, the strength that you have it's miraculous, right? It's beyond really human understanding. So, to both of you, I had a call. And Kimberly, what you've done is so powerful, that our caller kept commenting on how thorough the questions were. I think that it digs so deep that we had pauses so that the caller could really reflect on the options and what her experience really was at the hospital where she birthed. Because sometimes we have trouble really finding the words or telling our stories. So this is another way for people to tell their stories, right? Because there are options that may not have been considered. And my caller just really kept saying, wow, there's so many options. There's so many options. And so thank you for your thoroughness, and thank you for really digging deep into the experiences of Black women who are birthing in hospitals around the country.
Yeah, thank you for that reflection, Kiddada. We've been talking about the unfortunate state where, everybody wants data. They need the data. And so I remind people that, yes, Earth is Yelp-like, but we ask real questions, because if we don't get the details, then we can't turn it around the back end to really push for change, right? So we were just saying, if it was just a free-form space, that would be great, but we need the details so that we can now go to them and say, this, we have 5,000 reviews, and Black people are saying that their pain levels are being dismissed, that things are happening they didn't consent to, that, they didn't get any breastfeeding support, like really to get to the details. And that's why I ask people to, take the time to leave an Earth review. It is powerful. We took a lot of time and work developing those questions over years, working with all types of academics, but testing it in the community. Prior to launching Earth in the app stores, we were in 5 pilot cities: Detroit, New Orleans, Sacramento, the Metro DC area, New York City, really being immersed. That was part of my plan, that Earth would be built with community, right? Not without it. As they say, nothing for us without us. Well, Earth did not happen without us. And so that was really important to me. But those details, those questions, that structured process is really how we develop the data on the back end to push for change. And Aaron, okay, Aaron, we accept reviews from fathers, birthing partners, we're really trying to give a 360 perspective, because we know that's what's happening to others really matters too, in terms of that process.
Kimberly, I think Bruce is doing a review now.
Hey, Bruce, can you unmute and let us hear? Are you at a part where you can just let us hear you ask a few questions? Everyone, please call in. Our number here is 855
what kind of review are you leaving with us today? Is it birthing, prenatal, postnatal, pediatric?
Oh, okay. A birthing review.
Birthing review. All right. And what was your primary role in the experience? Was it birthing person, partner or father, doula, midwife, nurse, or other?
Yeah, I was a partner and father.
Partner and father. All right. And what is the name of the hospital or doctor you want to leave a review for?
Bruce, I'm going to mute you for that.
Hospital Mount Sinai.
Okay. Well, we're going to keep checking in on Bruce and his review. This is, please call in 855-450-4784. We are standing by. We have Kiddada Green from the Black Mothers Breastfeeding Association. We have Jade Harris, a mom of 4 who works in public health outside of, and who resides outside of Atlanta, Georgia. And we have Aaron Nelums, who lost his wife in December 2020 and has been sharing with us what it's been like for him on his fatherhood journey since losing his beloved, really just a little bit 6 months ago, right? Very recently. And so we're really just here holding space, wanting to support people who are interested in sharing their experience, interested in using our collective power, interested in ending this racism and bias in our maternity care, and Earth being just one of the many tools that are out there to address that, and really thinking about this issue. Kiddada, tell us a little bit about what's going on in the state of Michigan, legislative-wise, what you've been working on.
I'm getting a lot of feedback, and I don't know. I had a hard time hearing your question, Kimberly.
Yes.
I believe you said what's happening in Detroit and what's happening in Michigan. I know the Earth is really supportive of doula work, and here in Michigan, we are Black Mothers Breastfeeding Association has received funding from the Michigan Health Endowment Fund and support from March of Dimes to have the first ever Michigan community-based doula summit. So I'm really excited about that. We will be looking at various tracks, including workforce development, including professional development, community voice, and there's one more that that's escaping me right now. So we're excited about the upcoming doula summit. You guys can follow us on Instagram at BMBFA, at Twitter at BMBFA, or on Facebook at Black Mothers Breastfeeding Association to learn more about the summit that's scheduled from August 19th to August 20th. This is the first time something like this has ever been done in Michigan. where we're able to amplify the voices of the community, those families who are giving birth, and also our community-based doulas who are like the first liners for our mothers here in Detroit, but also throughout Michigan. We have built this around Black and Indigenous families. So the allyship is amazing. It's regionally diverse. So in the urban areas of Detroit, which is Southeast Michigan, and even in the Upper Peninsula and rural communities, looking to amplify the voices of Indigenous families as well. So I'm really excited about this partnership that we have. All the doulas who are involved, all the families who are involved. It's coming to us August, I think, 19th through the 21st. So stay tuned on our social media for more information about that.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. There's a lot going on this summer. That's my birthday week, Kiddada. I gotta be honest. I don't know.
Well, it's recorded. It's recorded. We are focused on Michiganders. I will say that we're really, really focused on Michiganders. So we invite you all to participate, but we're really focused on building this up in Michigan. And hopefully it can be a model for other states who are interested in doing something similar.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to take all the things. Aaron, what you have planned for the summer?
Work. I've been out of work for a while, so I just went back to work a couple of weeks ago. So just working and fixing up the house. That's it.
All right. Well, you are a brand new homeowner. And we're really proud of you. Glad that you were able to kind of pull through on that vision, that dream for you and Janiyah. That's just great. I know the children are happy and that you're, it's one day at a time, isn't it?
Yes, one day at a time.
Yeah.
That's how I live now. I live my life one day at a time. I tell people, everybody say you're not promised tomorrow. I say you're not promised a second, because my wife, we went to the hospital because her leg was swollen and never came back. So you just don't know. You just don't know.
You just don't know, my brother. That is really powerful. And I appreciate that reminder. So much we can take for granted. And it's just, just really zeroes in on why we are doing this work. You remind us why we are doing this work. You remind me why I'm doing this work. So I'm grateful to that. I hope everybody will consider calling in to leave their experience so that we can make sure that people like Amber and Janiyah and too many Black sisters, our queens who were lost, who were failed by this system, that we can bring it into that by using our consumer power. The number is 855-450-4784, 855-450-IRTH. Please call and let us help us really populate Earth with more reviews. Our strength is in numbers. And our power is when we work together, when we put our experiences together. So we definitely invite you to call in and be a part of this movement. And I'm so grateful for everyone who's been here to help honor and lift up this important, very important message. Bruce, I think he's still working on his call. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah. Well, Kimberly, I want to thank you so much for having me, for inviting me. This has brought me, it's always great to give. And so I appreciate the opportunity. I got to spend time with Jay. Hi, Jade. And thank you for having me. I wish you the best with the rest of the Earthathon. And you know how to reach me if you need anything.
This is true, Kiddada. This is true. Everyone, don't forget Black Breastfeeding Week is August 25th to 31st. We are super excited about that. The theme this year is the Big Pause, collective rest for collective power. We are really honoring our need to rest, something our ancestors were never allowed to do. But we can actually collect ourselves, have a vision, and really use that time to create purpose if we take a brief pause that allows us to accelerate even further. And so we really want to honor ourselves. I appreciate what Bruce was saying to you, Brother Aaron, just around the self-care, right? What are you doing to take care of yourself? Thank you, Kiddada, for joining us.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
I just keep myself busy.
Mhm.
And I speak to my mother-in-law. I speak to my mother. You know, and that's basically it. The people that been in my corner from day one, they just tell me to just push. You know, my children need me, and that's what makes me go, because my children do need me. So
They do need you.
Janaea will want me to do that.
Yes. And I also just want to offer, if I can, Brother Aaron, that they need you to be whole and complete, right? And that means you honoring yourself, whatever type of self-care practice that may be that you can find, it's like, yes, they need you. And because of that, I really want to just honor you for taking good care of yourself, so that you can be there for them. And that if you're not pouring into yourself, that cup is not going to have much to pour out of, right? And so Bruce was talking about some things that he's doing around kind of improving mental health, people having better outlets to deal with the things that they're feeling. So I just want to lift you up, brother, and remind you that, taking care of yourself is what we need you to do as well, right? And your children need that. And that's really important.
Yes. Well, I go to the gym. That's my go-to. You know, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't go to the clubs, none of that. I'm all about fitness. So I'm actually just coming from the gym right now. So that's my thing, going to the gym.
Good. I need to get on that, Aaron. You might have to give me some tips. I'm trying to this COVID-19 19-pound thing is real. So I'm going to be following you more closely on Instagram. Tell everybody what your Instagram handle is again, Aaron, please.
It's FitGeek 392_SRT.
Okay. Yeah, and let's support Brother Aaron, lift him up as on his journey. We mentioned earlier his Cash App, which is Fitness Geek, and let's really try to support. We want to really we know that Black maternal mortality impacts more than just Black women, impacts their children, impacts the people who love them, their partners, husbands, and others. So thank you so much for being on and sharing with us today, Aaron. I really do appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you letting me share my story.
Yes.
That's all I've been doing, is trying to, get it out there. She needs to be heard.
Absolutely. And we're listening. We're here for you. I know the brother Bruce is here for you, and Charles, and unfortunately the group of those who have been affected by this tragedy is growing, and we are working really hard to make sure that group does not expand anymore, right? Like, this is where you all will be talking about something that just is not where it is right now. And so we're working hard, brother. I just want you to know that. And that's why we're here. I appreciate you joining us today to help put in some thoughts to that. And we're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep pushing for you, for Janaea, for your babies. We're going to keep pushing.
For the young queens coming up.
That's it. That's it. That's it. And for the kings. Right?
Yes, definitely.
Queens, right? We appreciate that. This has been such a powerful conversation. I don't even know what to say. Jade, how are you coping?
I'm just over here like having a fit, because to me, I feel like it's really criminal. Like, it starts even from walking into certain places. Because I think about with my third child, when my husband was trying to get up into the room, they were asking him for ID and all types of stuff at this particular hospital we were at. And it's sad, because we move as a unit, and we're having so many things happen to us, and having this app will make it easier for us to document everything. It's the small things. Sometimes it isn't always something huge. Sometimes it's as simple as getting certain looks or them not listening to you when you're asking them not to touch you, or to trying to find out what type of medication you're taking, or they're trying to, different things they're trying to do to you. It's sometimes so small that doesn't end up with someone losing their life, but it can get taken to the next step with someone else. And that's sad, And
it's really unacceptable, right? It's infuriating, and it's completely unacceptable. And that's why we're really trying to bring this transparency, this accountability to the system. And I'm so grateful for you as a mom who does a great job bringing up our young kings and queens to talk about your experience with the app, to use it in your own care for your own babies, and to tell other moms that this is important. We are here for the Earthathon here all day, trying to help people know what we're up to, share their experiences. Please call in 855-450-4784 and join us in this movement. To use our collective power, to use our collective experiences as a tool for change. I'm so grateful, so grateful. Let's see. Thank you for putting up the number. Okay, cool. We're getting ready for our next group. We have Jasmine from Mixed Brown Brabies. I'm gonna get all these right. Erica Cheedy, Whitney Robinson, Erica from Loom, Whitney Robinson from the Renee. So we're gonna take a quick break. Bruce, how are you doing?
Okay. Sorry, yeah, still on this call, going through the questions.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Bruce. I'm so grateful to you for sharing your time with me, to always being supportive, for showing up when I text you like, hey, can you help me out? I appreciate you, brother, for showing up and being so supportive. We are also lifting you up and appreciate you for being such a voice in this movement and being there for the brothers who are going through this tragedy as well.
For sure. Anytime. I'm here for it.
All right, Bruce, I appreciate you. All right, everyone, we're going to take a quick break, and then we are going to be back with an amazing group. I am so excited because actually my next group kind of includes my tech friends and social media influencers. So it's going to be a digital conversation. Thank you for joining the Earthathon. We'll be right back in 5 minutes. My name is Kimberly Seals Allers, and I created Irth because I wish I had it when I was giving birth. Black and brown women and birthing people deserve a place where their stories have power for us to inform our community and push for systemic change.
My name is Kristen. I am a married parent of 2 boys.
My name is Dominique, and I'm the mother of 3 boys.
My name is Jade Harris. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I live in Fairburn, Georgia, and I'm a mother of 4.
Hi, I'm Lois. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I'm married and I'm a mother of 3 children.
Hi, my name is Sabrina. I'm 23 years old. I'm a single mother to this beautiful 14-month-old baby.
Irth is a Yelp-like review and rating app with a mission to end racism and bias in maternity care and to stop the Black maternal and infant mortality crisis in America by bringing transparency and accountability to the medical system.
We are Black women, but we all have different experiences. To be able to come together and talk about our different experiences, good or bad, it builds a community and it really helps change outcomes, because when you have options, you can make better choices. When you have more knowledge, you can make better choices.
Black and brown women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die during and after childbirth than white women. And our stories of neglect, mistreatment, and abuse at the hands of medical professionals are far too frequent. Our deaths are often preventable.
Birthing while Black in the United States was an interesting experience for me. Our experience was heavily impacted by our race, and it shouldn't have been.
And I was incredibly aware that depending on where I went to receive care, it would make a difference between life and death for my child and I.
We were treated just as if we weren't there, and that we didn't matter, and that our questions were more of a bother than something that required a response.
The doctor, he was so dismissive And I feel like I didn't have a choice in anything that happened there.
I think birth doesn't necessarily have to be a negative experience. It's unpredictable. But the one thing we shouldn't have to worry about is if how we look is going to change our outcomes.
We say no more. Together we can use our consumer power to protect and inform each other about where we are receiving good care and where we are not. Together, our experiences have power.
Before this app came about, the way that I would find out about, midwives or, hospitals in my area, literally Google.
Most of my information regarding birth was through word of mouth.
Prior to giving birth, I would normally get information from families or friends.
More so than Google, it was other moms, just asking them about their experiences and, what did you like about it? What did you not like about it?
We provide a safe digital space for birthing people of color to share their stories and experiences, to search for reviews and ratings from other people just like them, and to bring transparency and public accountability to our treatment in the medical system.
While we're waiting for policies and systemic issues to be eradicated and changed, we have to do something.
The fact that we have one of the most advanced healthcare systems in the world, but our Black, maternal mortality rate is what it is, it just doesn't add up.
The accountability piece is really important there. I don't think anyone wants to be on a review that says something negative about them as professionals.
Your community is with you. Irth provides reliable information all in one centralized place. We can empower women of color to find providers with good reviews and use our collective power to push for change.
I believe that Irth is great because it will be able to stop us from having so many silos of information going on.
Having a collection of stories in one place is helpful because we can go on, as moms, can go on there and search in our area, read real reviews from real moms, and see, if we have an option.
If you can go to an app and find out that, these women went here and this is their experience and they love Dr. So-and-so, or they love this nurse midwife, or they use this doula or whatever, like that is huge.
Irth welcomes reviews from mamas, fathers, and partners, doulas, and hospital-based midwives. Our unique icons show you when a doula, who often attends multiple births at a hospital, has left a review.
So I'm sharing my story so that women can make empowered choices and have information.
It's really important for me to share my story because I want people to know that it is possible to have the birth that you want, and it is possible to have a healthy baby and to be treated with respect.
I am sharing my story with Irth because I deserve to be heard.
But to do that, we need to share our stories. We need to see people that look like us, and we need to see that it has been done.
Positive stories, negative stories, they need to be shared so that moms of color can make informed decisions and feel empowered about their role in their care in their process of birth.
Irth was built by women and people of color for people of color. Our unique by us, for us approach sets a new standard for developing community-centered platforms.
I'm so happy that this exists. When I saw this on one of my girlfriend's Instagram pages, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is genius.
Once we have solid information all together on one app, we can begin to make change.
Having stories by us, for us, there's nothing like that. You can have a story from another woman and that's great, but the Black experience is different.
No story is too big or too small. Every little piece of information counts towards helping someone make informed decisions.
I want everyone to birth with Irth.
I want everyone to birth with Irth.
I want everyone to birth with Irth because you deserve to have an empowering, beautiful, blissful birthing experience.
Because knowledge is power.
Because we have options.
It helps women to know that they're not alone.
I want everyone to birth with Irth so that we can begin to change the narrative.
We have the opportunity to have healthy babies and have healthy pregnancies.
I want everyone to birth with Irth because there's power in our voices. There's power in our stories. And your safety, your well-being matters.
Let's get this done. We have power. We have consumer power. We have digital power. And we have our community, our brilliance, our togetherness. And always, always we have our ancestors. And we will conjure it all and leverage it all to bring justice and equity to Black mamas and babies. Download the Irth app today. Search for yourself, but leave a review for your community. Birth with your Earth community. Together, we can.